Dudes and dudettes, how are you guys? This is Chazzy and welcome back to the mixer, and I am still very tired. God, I'm sleepy, I'm drowsy. In case you guys didn't catch my last two videos, I've been talking a little bit more slowly and monotonously because I'm really tired. I didn't sleep last night, and I'm probably gonna take a nap after this video. And also, I have been experimenting with something new in my videos, in case you guys didn't notice. I am trying to get a little bit further away from the camera because I've been way too close, so there's a chance that the background won't be as blurred as before, but I'm trying to put myself, a little better. In the sense, I got my little mirror to see if I'm well positioned, and it looks like I am so far. So there's a chance that I'm gonna sound very bored, and exhausted, but it's just because I'm really tired, okay? So yeah, guys. But anyway, so today's concept vlog, a term that I coined on my channel where I just talk to you guys, without a lot of editing. I'm going to be talking about the concept of freezing time, okay? Now, this is going to be very similar to my other video talking about a time machine, what would you do if you had a time machine, and what I would personally do myself, But this is going to be a little different, it's going to be a little bit different. There's going to be a bit of a twist, And basically, I mean, here's the thing, guys. I think that it's everyone's biggest dream to be able to freeze time and then do whatever the hell you want without there being any consequences, And I have been thinking a lot about this lately because I have recently fallen behind schedule on my YouTube channel, And it's been a little haunting, it kind of haunted me a bit because there was a day where I couldn't do double uploads, and I actually spent like 2 or 3 days without uploading because of the issues with my internet and the computer. There was a power outage, But basically I was a little late, And I thought, man, like there were only so many hours in a day, and out of those hours there are so many hours that I can use that I can put to use to record videos, to record, edit, export. My computer goes a little slowly sometimes, I'm actually exporting a video right now as I record this one, so sometimes it takes a while. But the point is that, like, it's always been like I've always maintained a certain schedule, and I always want to, if I could, I would upload videos precisely at a certain time every day, but unfortunately I can't, I just don't have the time, even though I was doing pretty well when I started off after my 500th. But I got to thinking, what if I could just remotely freeze time and then do a bunch of stuff related to YouTube, Like, what if I could just randomly stop? Like, I could freeze time for, like, even an entire day. Then, like, for example, let's say I freeze time at precisely 1 p.m. in the afternoon, Then I go and record a bunch of videos. I edit the videos, I leave them on my computer and I export them, and I just leave them all there while I do other things. Then when I unfreeze time, it's still 1 p.m., but I got like a ton of videos done for YouTube, That's just an example. And it's not just YouTube, but any other miscellaneous tasks that I could do that would normally take up a lot of time, I don't know, man, like chores, I could clean my entire house, I could freeze time and clean my house, leave it spotless, and then still have time to play video games, or even video game, like when I unfreeze time, play video games, or even freeze time, to be able to play a game for more hours than I normally would be able to, That would be really cool. But then again, you have to take into consideration the ramifications of it, the whole space-time continuum thing, or if it would be like the movie Click, where you would freeze time and be able to move forward or do whatever you want, but there would be like a version of your body there on autopilot, staying put for all the boring parts that you skipped over. So that could also be a thing, because I don't know, man. There have been movies that played around with the concept of you freezing time and doing whatever the hell you want, or you could also be like Quicksilver in the X-Men movies, where he moves so fast that it's like he froze time because everything else is slow as hell around him, So that would also be really cool. I could get a lot done if I was that fast, But then again, maybe just being able to freeze it, and like leave everything actually stopped in time and doing other things would just be really cool, man. Now, I honestly think it's very hard for somebody to disagree with this, because it seems like there are only good points to come out of it, I mean, the pros and cons of freezing time. What are the cons exactly, I mean, it depends, because, I don't know, maybe if you mess around too much with that, it's going to create some kind of time rifts or something, in space itself. But I don't really know how that works. I'm not a scientist, But maybe if you freeze it and do a lot of things, it might throw like time itself out of shift, because you're gonna get a lot done in an hour, then because it's the same concept of a long time ago. I used to read these books called Magic Treehouse, by Mary Pope Osborne, and she played around with the concept of time travel in a very unique way, wherein it was like the kids, the protagonists in her stories, they would use a magic treehouse to visit a faraway land somewhere else. Then when they come back to their to the real world, no time would have passed, you know. So it's like, wait a minute. So if no time, it's really complicated. I mean, magic is weird. So if no time passed, then in my head to this day, ever since I was a kid, but still to this day, I think one of two ways. There are two possibilities for this happening. Either what they are going through is happening so freaking quickly, you know, like it might take them a very long time to go through their adventures, you know, it might even be hours or days, you know, but all of it somehow happens in a very, like a fraction of a second, like Quicksilver movie in X-Men, and we just can't comprehend it, which allows them to come back at the regular time that they did, or time in the regular world freezes. I really don't see how there could be any other two explanations other than these, you know, because the real world somehow completely freezes over. They go on their adventures and they come back and it's like nothing happened, you know. It really doesn't make sense to me. It's really hard to comprehend, you know. It's the same thing with Interstellar, where they played around with the idea of them being on a planet where I think 1 hour on the planet corresponded to 7 years back on Earth, you know, which has this whole explanation with astronomy where like the gravitational shift of the planet, it moves slower in relation to Earth, and it's bigger, it's further away in terms of light years. You know, there is a scientific explanation, but I'm not a damn scientist, so it doesn't make sense to me. Okay, I'm dumb compared to those really smart people with Stephen Hawking levels of IQ, you know, so I don't know how it works, man. But like being able to freeze time all over the world, not just in your region, but all over the world, like okay, it's a very strong power to have, you know, like you just snap your fingers and freeze the whole universe, you know, and then suddenly, or you could maybe limit it by district. What if you freeze just your country, you know, or your state or something? That would probably be equally weird. I don't know, man. It just doesn't seem like, when it comes to messing around with time itself, the very fabric of time, usually it's something that affects the whole world, you know. It's much easier to embrace it this way. I'm gonna stop time, so you're essentially gonna stop the whole world and do something, you know. But then again, imagine if everybody had this power. Like imagine how many people would be stopping time all over the place, you know, because you could stop time to do something for yourself, but then what if somebody else elsewhere in the world also does the same thing and you freeze, you know? And it must suck to be frozen, guys, because like are you aware that you're frozen? Because I've always felt like I've seen movies, you know, TV shows, horror movies, you know, especially because to me this is a terrifying thing. What if you're frozen alive? Not like you die by freezing, but I mean like you're frozen and you're still alive, you know? Kind of like a House of Wax thing where you're just there, you're alive, you know? You can think, you can feel, you can see, but you can't move, you can't talk, you know, you can't do anything. Like that's got to be terrifying, you know? It's like you're paralyzed, you know? It's like what's it called? Surgery paralysis, you know? No, I think it's anesthesia awareness, you know, where you get put under but you're still aware of what's happening. You know, it's a terrifying thing and you can feel the surgery happening, you know. So like being frozen, what if somebody freezes time and you're there, you can see that you're frozen but you can't do anything, you know? That's gotta be horrible, you know. I mean, man, gee, I can't even imagine how terrifying. This suddenly turned dark, didn't it? It started so okay, but now it's like it started with me wanting to freeze time to record more videos for YouTube, but now it's like it turned into a freaking horror movie. Now, I think that the very idea itself of freezing time or time traveling, those kinds of things, you know, they are very, very complex. You know, it's very hard to even think about it, you know, but it would be cool if it was possible, you gotta admit, you know. And I think that being able to remotely freeze time, you know, to do what you want, I mean, guys, I mean, come on, you can't deny that the idea itself is cool, you know, even if you would have to deal with consequences later, collateral damage, you know, involving the space-time continuum, all of those other things that I said, you know, and having to make everybody else stop, you know. I mean, because like, what if you could freeze time and actively manipulate people around you? You know, this would also be like, it's almost like you, like, I don't know, you can Click, the movie Click, you know, played around with the concept, you know, where you can freeze time. He pauses life in real time, and then he can manipulate objects and people while they're frozen, you know, and then when he hits play, they are affected by it, you know, like there's a kid with a baseball glove, you know, then he pauses time and the baseball is coming at him, then he lowers his hand, presses play, and then time goes back to normal, and then the baseball hits him in the forehead, you know. So I mean, it's a way for you to effectively manipulate people. In the same movie, he freezes time and kicks the guy in the crotch many times. Then when time goes back to normal, you know, he feels the pain, you know. So it is possible. You can manipulate time. You can manipulate objects and people in real time, you know. But would you? Like, what exactly would you do? Like, of course, there are certain people who probably think dirty thoughts. I did myself just now, actually. Not gonna share them in the video, of course, but I did think of a few things that I could probably do, you know, if I had a girl. But nothing too dirty. Okay, so that last part there was going off the rails. I decided to cut it, you know, just not go too much into detail. You know, it's just the internet is a complicated place today. Okay, people are easily butthurt and offended, so I'm just gonna, especially women. So let's just let that one slide. But anyway, guys, I think that's all I can say about this, you know, and I think I'm gonna actually wrap it up here before it gets worse. You know, if I start entertaining too many thoughts here about this thing. But anyway, if you agree with me, I want you to shout out in the comments below and tell me what you would do if you could freeze time, you know, and if you think it's a good or a bad idea, and tell me why. Give me nice, solid, scientific, concrete reasons, you know, using all of your intelligence, because I know you guys are smart as hell. I have the smartest subscribers on YouTube, you know, so just got to get you guys to interact with me a little bit more, you know. But okay, guys, so if you happen to like this video, then please give it a like and also subscribe to my channel, because I release videos every single day, and hit the notification button to know exactly what time I upload, because I do that completely at random, okay? And it's all good. So this is Chazzy signing out for now, and as always, I will see you guys in the next video. Roll the outro screen.